Alright guys, welcome back. As you guys can tell, we're working on the Colorado. It has been a while. We just got it back. I shouldn't say we just got it back. We had it back here for a little bit, but we were really trying to lock down on one project and get it knocked out per your request. We listened to what you guys say. James over at Hippie Fab knocked out these headers. They look absolutely awesome. We got the turbos hung, and I'm going to attempt to make the hot side tonight. I say attempt because Salty John Fab in the house. You guys can get these shirts over at lsnasty.com and get double entries for the Salty John shirts. lsnasty.com, first link in the description below. We're giving away this 1,000 horsepower G-body LS swap. It's got a little bit of weight in the rear right now because we're set up for no prep. For everybody that said that it couldn't do a burnout, it's just been sitting here all day, and look at the tire. Yeah, so it's probably got a little bit of weight on it. So let's just settle down in the comment section. But yeah, this thing could be yours right here. 2 seats, actually 4 seats. It's got button tuck rear seats, 2 Kirky seats, forged 6-liter 94mm turbo Holley EFI. Giving it away. All you guys have to do to get entered is go to lsnasty.com. Every dollar you spend is an entry to win, except if you join the t-shirt club, which this badass shirt you guys can get here until the 25th. The Salty John shirts are available, limited time only, and you get double entries, and they're cheaper than normal. So I'm just trying to really get you guys your best bang for your buck. You like gripping dingers and popping wheelies? Go to lsnasty.com. We're giving away this 1,000 horsepower turbo LSG body. Every dollar you spend is an entry to win. .94mm turbo, forged LS, Holley EFI, power glide transmission. This thing is bad to the bone and can be yours if you go over to lsnasty.com.
4 seats and a big ass trunk for all your friends. This thing's a true muffin cap peeler. It's the highest horsepower car we have ever given away. Double B blocks, check. Forged LS, check. 1,000 horsepower, oh yeah. QA1 suspension, you bet. You can take this thing, put all your friends in it, go cruise around because it is a true, real deal street car. Or you go to the track and bust them out.
Go to lsnasty.com. Check out all of our brand new merchandise. We got hats, shirts, stickers, socks, key tags, posters, you name it, we got it. And every dollar you spend is an entry to win. lsnasty.com or the first link in the description below. Go and get entered. All right, now that we got that merch plug out of the way, let's get down to business. Salty John Fab, doing all right. Did really 3 turbo kits. The first turbo kit, well, really 4 turbo kits. I did one I sold to my buddy Jake, who he hasn't used it yet, so it's just kind of off in like Never Ever Land. You guys will see Jake this weekend when we go down to the No Prep. We'll be hanging out with him. Then I did Hank, which we'll show you guys in a second. Then I redid the hot side for the Red Lobster because we switched turbos and some of the mounting positions of the turbo changed. We went from like a XPR style turbo to a GT55 style turbo. For those of you guys that don't know what's going on there, just the way it sat, it changed. And then we go over here and I did the hot side, which this, I don't know if you'd say this is like my best. This is not my best work. This is just, it's solid, it's decent. We got our Parker Speed flange. We have some nice stainless, some normal stainless, but it's welded out. The V-bands clip into place. It's nothing to like write home about because it doesn't look like super badass, but that one's more like function over appearance because we need that one to package well so we could still fit AC and a radiator and intercooler. We go out here to Hank. This is one of the turbo kits that I whipped up. TISS Fab titanium exhaust. You guys can go over there and get these titanium exhaust kits. Use code LSNASTY, get 20% off. Simple Flowtech headers, small compact hot side. Got the flanges from TISS Fab. They sell stainless stuff too and aluminum. It's really a one-stop shop. We're working on a couple new products with them right now, so I highly recommend. The titanium exhaust is second to none. You can't really beat it. Air-to-air intercooler. Matt did weld the charge pipe up here because I really wanted this to look good. So not expert in aluminum welding, but stainless and titanium I'm feeling pretty comfortable with. So yeah, I think this one looks pretty good and it sounds good too. So I'm super pleased with this. I'm like very proud because this is kind of like the first like full-on project that I kind of have done without any adult supervision, which is terrifying. So now we're going to do this without any adult supervision. But this should be pretty simple. It's compact, short, twin turbo setup, very straightforward. as you guys can see, we got our turbos mounted, non-mirror image turbos. And I'll tell you guys why I don't like mirror image turbos. I feel like it's a pretty logical reason why. So these turbos right here, they are TDI Force Inductions 94mm GT55 base turbos. These turbos here are pretty common. That turbo right there is a Force Inductions 98mm GT55 turbo. The compressor cover and the cartridge and everything is the same. The exhaust side on this is slightly different, but that is interchangeable. So if you're ever at the track, right, and you have an issue and you have a mirror image turbo and you're like, oh darn it, my reverse flow left turbo went out, you are not going to find one. It's not going to happen. If I'm at the track, right, and I can carry one spare because they're both the same turbo, they go back and forth. Now appearance wise, as you can see, this one, the hot side inlet, is out further than this side, but you got to pay a price for some practicality, and that's a price that I'm willing to pay. So this turbo kit here, I would say, is not going to look just like, oh, that turbo kit looks sick, kind of like what Steven Eads did on Slick Rick. Like, you look at that turbo kit, you're like, holy shit, that thing is badass. I don't know if this is going to be like, holy shit, that's badass, but we're going to hope that it's so fast that people just go, damn it, that thing really works, that turbo kit does its job. Because I don't know how, you can't really get creative with this stuff. So there are some things I have to do because of packaging. So I don't really want to go too far out past the turbos because you're limited on space. So I don't want to hang a wastegate right there. So I'm going to put a couple bends in it and hang the wastegate off the side here. Now this one where it sits further back, I'm just going to clock the wastegate off to the side there. So we should be good. Symmetry, not going to happen. It's just impossible with non-mirror image turbos, but that's okay because no one ever wins a race because the turbo kit is symmetrical. If you can do it, it's a bonus. If you can't, you got to live with it. So I got all my stuff here from Stainless Bros 065 wall. I got some D1, D1.5, some no legs, some 90s with legs, really just 90s and 45s. This stuff welds great. It comes polished in and out. They're badass. So check them out. And then we use all Race Part Solutions flanges on here and clamps. So shout out to Wade at Race Part Solutions. We got this badass billet merge from Race Part Solutions. We got our Wilson dual seal clamp with our Wilson throttle body, high boost there. 105, a lot of people are saying, man, you know, why'd you go with the 105? That's what the intake's made for. Some guys have made crazy power in 92mm throttle bodies, so the 105 should be plenty. Really, other than that, it's pretty basic. Everyone's like, oh, you're not going to make 3,000 horsepower with a big block and twin 94s. I don't understand why not. If I can make, like, we've literally made just shy of 3,000 with a small block Ford and a single 98mm turbo. Why in the world wouldn't we make more than that? At least 3,000. I'm thinking, like, if we could put down, you know, 3,500 to the wheels, that'd be great. But I really don't turn them up on the dyno. Like, I just go there and we get, like, the fuel close and we kind of progress the fuel on and then we take it to the track and turn it up. So, yeah, you guys are going to see Salty John Fab back at work. Now, don't compare my welds to James over at Hippie Fab because I am no professional fabricator, but I'm semi-professional. We'll go with that, semi-pro. All right, so we got our materials here. Kind of got some stuff mocked up. I'm going to put a little bend in here and a bend back, so these two 45s actually fit perfect. So I kind of like using these for turbo kits. I generally will get the bends and then some straight, and you can almost, if you have enough of them, kind of piece it together without having to make cuts. I don't really like any sharp angles on my turbo kits. You know, air can't bend more than 5 degrees at a time, so a nice smooth bend is definitely the way to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hold it up, mock it up where I get it where I want, and then I'll just tack this into the flange, and I'll tack this first piece into the flange and get it where, you know, I can lock it down with the V-band. And then at that point, what I'll do is I'll position this centerpiece, right, to connect both of them where it's just perfect. Mark it. I could probably just tack it up on the car. Now the big thing is, once you get everything kind of like where you need it to be and you see that it fits, I go ahead and I weld everything out. So then I'll just have like 1 or 2 joints left to weld out. That way it doesn't draw. So if you tack it up, right, if I were to tack this and tack this piece in there and then tack the centerpiece, I tack it all the way in, I take it over here to the bench and I weld it out. Now, if it draws, right, if this flange draws right here, that's not terrible. But what it is terrible is how much it moves this flange way up here. So you got to be cautious of that. I try to weld all my joints out as much as I can. I generally move one way to the other, but I know that it all fits. So I've kind of just held, here, I'll hold it up, I'll show you guys. Now, there is one way that this all fits. So, as you can see, I need just the slightest of trimming right in here. That is all the way in the flange. That is all the way in the flange. Just a little bit of trimming on this piece, and we will fit perfect, which I am all about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack up in the flange this first piece. God, look at how nice that is too. Just a little bit of massaging right there, and it should be perfect. Alright, so I got this flange tacked up with this 45. Fits almost perfect. I got just a little bit of a gap, so I made a couple marks. Just took the flap disc and kind of knocked down a couple high points. I got it to fit up almost perfect, so I'm going to go and weld this flange out, and then I'll tack this onto this piece, and then that way I'm only working with sticking this in the joint. You have a little bit of play here on getting it in the flange, because it is countersunk, so you have just like the slightest bit of play back and forth. As you guys can see up top, it's still in there, but you can wiggle it around. So this will be the last piece that I weld out. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this V-band out, back purge everything, make sure it's nice, do my best not to warp it. Then I can tack this piece on, and once I get it where this piece is sitting perfect with this, I'll go ahead and weld these two out. That way I can go ahead and just finish welding out this side, and hopefully be done with this pretty quick. So far I've spent like 5 minutes tacking that up, 10 minutes just kind of mocking that up, getting it close. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this out, you know, another 10 minutes, let it cool down for a couple, and just keep knocking it out. Pretty compact, trying to make it look smooth. The key is I want this to be strong. I'm back purging. I don't want there to be any gaps. I don't want to have to fill any gaps. Some of the other turbo kits I've done on the less horsepower stuff, there's a little bit of gap. I just throw some filler rod at it. This one I want to fit absolutely perfect, weld it out on the right amps, get good penetration, make sure it's structural so we don't have any problems when we're at the racetrack. All right, we got this tacked up. Look at the gap on it is like virtually non-existent. Got some black Sharpie there, so it looks like there's a gap. Sealed up perfect here. We're in the flange there. So I'm gonna weld this out right now, and then we will work our way down there. Ideally, if we weld this flange out, nothing moves. That's not warped. That's in there good. I can weld this flange out, stick it up there, tack it up, weld her out, and then in a perfect world, when you set the turbo kit on there, that'll clip in and that'll clip in, or it'll even be so tight that on a twin turbo setup, like you have to leave the backside loose, set it up there, and then clock the backside up, and it'll click into place. So yeah, I mean it looks all right. I like it. I'm happy with it. I mean we're making progress. All we got to do is get air from there to there, and I think that is a pretty smooth looking way. I mean, you could have went straight in with a kind of like clocked at the end, but I like the curves. I think the curves look good, you know, a little bit of just changing it up. I mean, look at the black sheep. There's no really straight pieces on the black sheep. Go out there and look at Hank. There's no straight pieces on Hank. I mean, you kind of keep it right. David's my designated weld holder, working on that welding tan. Real good, real good. So I'm pretty happy with it so far for a non-welder, you know, semi-professional welder. We're doing all right. All right, guys, we got our 2 joints welded up. Welds look pretty good. I think I'm getting a little bit better. No expert by any means. I got this joint pretty damn close. It's got like the slightest little gap. I'm gonna try to clock the housing up. I'm gonna tack it. I'm gonna weld it out, and then I should be able to weld this flange out. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. I'm gonna tack that on there, then weld it out, and then I should be able to weld that out down there. Hopefully, no drawing at that point. If it's just the flange, that's all good and set into place, and then it'd be able to click right in. But I think overall it looks pretty good. I'm digging it. I'm happy with my welds. Really just trying to take my time. When I rush, I tend to like mess up, so just trying to take my time and starting to get comfortable in certain positions. You know, Matt would always be like, hey, make sure you're comfortable. I was never really comfortable before, but now I'm starting to get comfortable, and we're just plugging away. All right, got it all welded out. Pretty happy with my welds. Don't really have any issues. The last thing I got to do is just weld this flange out. I'm gonna put 5 or 6 really good tacks on this. It fits in there absolutely perfect. As you can see, there's a little bit of wiggle room in there like I was talking about, but it still fits in there perfect. So I want to make sure that it doesn't have any chance of moving. If I could weld it on the car, I would, but I want to back purge everything. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be back purging the flange or not, but I am. I definitely weld on a little bit more amps because it's a little bit thicker. All this stuff right here is like, I'd say 95% to 100% penetration on all the welds. I get the welder kind of dialed in. I'm pretty comfortable with this material, so I know how many amps it takes to get full penetration. So hopefully they're structural. I hate to go somewhere and race and the turbo kit blows apart, because I'd be like, ugh, I did that. But I don't know if that's just me doubting myself or what, because I've never really done this. But yeah, this is it's way better than paying someone to do, I can tell you that, because it's costing me nothing but a little bit of time. And you know, this right here is better than what a decent amount of people charge you to do. You know, you go somewhere and pay someone to have you a turbo kit, and it don't look, I'm not like tooting my own horn here, I'm just being realistic. I'm just being real with you. So overall, I mean, with the header, which I'm taking no claim to this, I mean, we're doing all right. I think it's going to look pretty sharp. I'm happy I went with a 3.5 instead of the 3-inch. I think I went with a 3-inch where neck down, it would not look as beefy, because this thing looks pretty stout right now. So especially once we put this is a Motion, one of the like saddle flanges. It's made for 3-inch tubing, but you can just hog it out a little bit and it'll fit perfect for the 3.5. All right, we got the flange welded out. It's still pretty warm. I'll have to show you in tomorrow's video. I'm only gonna do this side tonight. This side right here is gonna take max capacity to do. It's like, what time is it, David? Like 11 o'clock. So we put in a full day's worth of work here. Midnight?
12:15.
Damn, doing some fabrication at midnight. I'm super excited about how all the welds turned out. I'm also stoked because when you go to put this on, you literally just like it clicks in. David is my witness.
Falls right into place.
What did you say when it just clipped in like that?
Wow.
No, what did you actually say?
I said, do people really suck this bad at what they do?
I mean,
no ratchet straps required. No, no torch. I don't know. It just falls into place.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Wannabe YouTube racer
Is this like
/ fabricator.
Is this like beginner's luck ×4?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it's not really seeming like beginner's luck at this point. So
is it just beginner's luck that never left?
yeah, I guess.
It's. Should we take it off real quick just to show them? Here, let's just take it off real quick. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm trying not to. I already smoked one V-band today. All right, so there it is, and there it is in place. I mean, there's no gap, nothing's warped. It sits in there perfect. You put the V-bands on, you don't have to fight with it. It's just like, that's it. That's it. That's how it should be. Guys, Salty John Fab. You can get the shirt at lsnasty.com and win a car, or you can contact me $2,000 an hour for this car. I mean, dude, this is pretty high quality stuff now. I'm almost justifying my rate at this point. Before it was unjustifiable. Now look at, see this. You ain't got to fight with it. V-bands go right on. Here's your nut, sir. Look at this. This is how easy it is. Come here, come here. Come here, you bastard. Here, hold that guy so I can... Oh, I got it. No BS. Just put the V-bands on it, tighten it down. You ain't got to fight with it. I love it. I love it. We're going to stick this guy right there. And I think that's going to be a match made in heaven. As you can see, we got to do some massaging, open this up a little bit. So it's not going to have as much saddle meat right here, but it's still going to be a good weld through there. So it's a little bit small for the 3.5, but we'll get it on there and get it looking good. I think it's going to be badass. I'm not a fabricator by any means. I mean, look at that shit. Guys, if you're paying someone to weld and build you turbo kits and it looks shittier than this, show them this video, because I'm talking shit and be like, listen, if y'all guys are out here literally charging people for stuff that looks worse than that, practice more or charge less, one of the two, or do it for free. Get some laps under your belt. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm no expert. I'm just some hack wannabe YouTube racer / fabricator here, and I mean, it's tough to really say anything when that's what it looks like, and I don't do this. So practice more, I guess. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload. Don't forget brown sugar giveaway. Here it is, with all of its ballast in the back. I'm worried about the tires going flat from how much weight, so I'm jacking up the rear end. She's squatted. She's ready to whoop some ass. This can be yours. Salty John Fab, get in the t-shirt club. You have till the 25th to get in the t-shirt club. You don't want to miss out. Hey, look at this. I gotta show them the shirt. No, not that one. They've seen that one. What about this one? Oh. Boom. Salty John Fab. Dude, look at this. Salty since 2019 when Ellis Nasty started. Because I wasn't really salty until Ellis Nasty started. And pow! Salty John in the video. So, all right, that's going to wrap today's video. Go down to lsnasty.com, get entered to win. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.